We got some new leaks for Generation 10 while I was celebrating the holidays with my family. Really, really cool stuff. Not a lot of new things, but the things that we do have are pretty interesting. And I'm excited. We only got a couple weeks away until Pokemon Day 2026. This will be the 30th year anniversary, and I'm expecting a Generation 10 announcement, which is going to be really, really fun because we got we get to open some gifts early because we got some new information here, aggregated by the good people at Pokeos. Let's get into this. Generation 10. It's going to be called Pokemon Wind in Pokemon Wave. It will be released at the second half of 2026, and they're planning a DLC expansion for 2027, which is good to hear. This is like kind of a concept image right here. They're using Nemona as like a placeholder. This image has been out for a long time. But what is really cool for me, I guess I'm just doing like a recap right now, but we got, this region's going to be based on Indonesia and Southeast Asia, which is pretty cool. There's to me, so much wild biomes and environments. It's like everything I love about the Hoenn in the Alola region, with just how extreme the environments are. You've got all the water for traversal, and that's what this game's going to be all about. This game's going to be all about traversal, which really has me excited. It's like this Generation 10 game is going to be, imagine if Generation 9, imagine if the environment was interesting and fun, and there was interesting things to do in the region, right? That would be sick. This is the map right here, okay? The leaked map shows a large archipelago-based world with approximately 54 islands of varying size. At this stage, only one city is visible, though this does not indicate that it will be the only major settlement in the final game. I guess it would be kind of cool if there was like literally one massive hub city and there was like actually things to do. Like, I think an issue with a lot of Pokemon games over the last 10 years is like there will be cool locations, but there's nothing to do in those cool locations. Where in the previous games, there'd be, everything was scaled down. So you could imagine this giant expansive region. If there, I'm thinking of like the Johto or like a Hoenn game. If there are 6 buildings in a city, 3 of them, there is something to do long term. Or, all of them have some sort of purpose to begin with, at least initially. And an issue with like Scarlet and Violet, for example, there's all these cities, and like as you traverse through them, none of them are memorable. None of these cities are memorable because there's nothing to do in them. There's maybe one little item that you need to go back to and get, but it doesn't feel tied to the actual region. So, like, I guess I kind of like the idea of this completely wild Pokemon region. We're looking at the map right now, right? And again, I haven't said it yet, but this game is being promised to us in a way where we can dive underwater, we can soar in the air. Like, there's so many traversal options. Ride Pokemon is essentially back, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I like this idea of just having this like extremely wild region, and there's one main city that is the hub for anything that would be modern or right, like anything that would be like, I don't know, like I'm thinking about like the GTS that doesn't even exist in modern Pokemon games, but like the Move Tutor or whatever, right? Like anything that is like I don't know. I just think they could pack that city with use, which would make it so memorable, and I don't know, just like a lot of fun, right? I think what I'm getting at is like this game could feel the way Legends Arceus felt, where it's like we're out in the wild by ourselves. It's up to us to determine whether or not we're going to survive in this environment. But you still have a hub city, honestly, like Legends Arceus, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, you still have this hub city where like all these really cool things can happen in all these different use cases. I like this. This is kind of cool. As far as the map itself, this is kind of what I imagined. I was imagining like before we even knew Southeast Asia, like I was like when Greece was the popular rumor for what this game was going to be. What I was imagining is a Pokemon map that is basically inverted. Like you have, like normally there's on a Pokemon map, there's water on the outskirts and then there's a region in the middle. And this is kind of a little bit of both, where it's like you have most of the main islands on the outskirts of the key art, and then it's just water. It's like water and islands in the middle, which is kind of cool. Like, look at all these different locations. I guess I just really appreciate that they were able to make this map, if this is final, look so different from Hoenn and Alola. Like, they did a good job with this, and there's some serious, man, this is really cool. You have like desert, maybe fire, volcanic locations down here. There's some volcanic up here. You have some more tundra, some cold environments in the top corners, the northern corners. Oh, there's a volcano right in the middle, of course. And then you have all these different things, these different biomes. I really hope it can soar. Like, that's going to be so much fun. Continuing, I'm going to skip over the battle gimmick just for right now. We've got a leaked image further revealing the regional Pokemon professor, depicted as an older character who appears to personally guide the player, even driving a car between locations. I haven't looked into this at all, but as soon as I saw this leaked image, I thought, oh, this is Darwin. Like, I'm not mistaking those massive eyebrows, those caterpillars. I can't be mistaken. That's Darwin, the scientist, the evolution guy, Charles Darwin. I'm pretty sure he did a bunch of research in Southeast Asia. I'm pretty sure. I can't fact check that right now, but anyways, those eyebrows are it's clocked. That's him. That's Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin is going to be our Pokemon professor, which is kind of interesting. And yeah, and honestly, immediately, he's not Southeast Asian. So where is this guy from? Is he from Galar? Maybe. That actually would make sense. Would he be from Galar? I think he might be from Galar, which would tie him, that might be a hint in itself to Legends Galar. Love that. Okay. Among the most notable elements is a new traversal system involving a Rotom-powered scooter-like mount. There's been a lot of opinions online about this. I don't think it's going to be that bad. This vehicle appears to hover above the ground and is directly linked to the Pokemon currently outside of its Pokeball. A cable connects the Pokemon to the scooter, implying that the player does not ride independently, but instead follows or is pulled along by their Pokemon. I still think, let me keep reading, but I still think, what this is going to be, like, this sounds kind of goofy, but what this is going to be is we're literally going to be riding our Pokemon, or we're going to be controlling our Pokemon in the same way that we would control a Pokemon if we were riding a Pokemon. Like, that's half the joy of a ride Pokemon, is that you could control the Pokemon. And I think the Synchro Machine was kind of a test for that. The Synchro Machine in Scarlet and Violet. Different images show this system adopting dynamically to the Pokemon in use, allowing actions such as flying or diving depending on the partner Pokemon's abilities. This points towards a traversal mechanic centered on Pokemon interacting rather than fixed mounts. I have no problem with this. I think this will be good. I think the scooter looks a little bit goofy, but what else are you going to do? Otherwise they would have to literally they'd have to model the trainer on every single Pokemon, which would limit what Pokemon you can actually use to interact with the environment. Because here's the thing. Gen 10 sounds so great. It really does. Listen, this is your, everything that was wrong with Scarlet and Violet, this game's going to have. This game is about traversal. It's about these beautiful environments. It is about exploration. It is about choice and discovery. We have 2 screenshots right here of us riding our Charizard. But you also have this screenshot of us behind our Lumineon underwater. So that's confirming the underwater traversal, which is really great. Again, we have not had that since, I'm not counting Generation 5. So I'm saying since we've only had that in the Hoenn games, realistically, where you can find and discover wild Pokemon underwater. Like this is awesome. This is so cool. But also Lumineon, naturally, Lumineon has it has the ability to glow. Its fins can glow underwater, basically illuminating the underwater location. Like, talk about realism. Underwater, it can be very dark. You're going to need flash. In the old games, you would need the HM flash. In this game, each Pokemon has a unique ability, right? This is so great. This makes me so happy. The idea of... this makes me so happy. Like, the idea of actually being able to choose my team and have that affect my game, right? To not only have to superficially teach a Pokemon a move, but like not understand how it's, or see how it's actually interacting with the environment. You just have to use your imagination. But just play a Pokemon game where it's like, my Pokemon are directly affecting the environment. So cool. We've seen this in Legends ZA. Like, this is something, to a very small degree, you have to use certain, Pokemon moves to influence the environment, whether it's cutting, branches or, breaking rocks, whatever, right? Melting ice. We see this in Legends ZA, and it's a lot of fun. It's also, kind of soft in Legends Arceus, but it looks like in Generation 10, this is going to be, a main gameplay mechanic, which I think is so much fun. This is us solving puzzles, right? This mechanic is in line with why people loved the new Donkey Kong, why people love Mario Odyssey, why people love all of the new Legend of Zelda games, right? This Pokemon Generation 10 game could potentially be one of those games where it shows you puzzles, it shows you rewards in the distance, and instead of hand-holding you to that destination and to that reward, it says, go figure it out. Here are a bunch of tools. Now go figure it out yourself. That is so rewarding. That's literally that is human. That's in our DNA, right? It's so rewarding when you solve something by yourself, right? Based on whatever tools you have, and I think that this is going to be very satisfying for a Pokemon game. I've never been so happy to see Lumineon. There's another image that's not, I don't see this on the website right now, but there's another image of a Charizard. Basically, it's the light on its tail is supposed to be independent of the model. Again, indicating that Charizard, just having a Charizard on your team, or really a Charmeleon or whatever, right? Having this on your team out in a dark location, its tail will light up the environment, literally doing it's literally flashing. It's lighting up your location. Again, this is the same thing with the Lumineon. It's use whatever is at your disposal. And there's going to be so many weird Pokemon that might have some of these effects that I can't even think about right now. But maybe normally you need a Pokemon with giant, I don't know, maybe normally you need a grass type, but because you have a fairy type that kind of does the same thing, or I don't know, maybe Sudowoodo, right? Sudowoodo's not really a grass type. It wants to be, but maybe that would be good enough to solve your problem. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think there's going to be really, really fun challenges to solve in this open world environment, which is a lot of fun. Other images reportedly from around August 2024 show a more advanced build compared to earlier leaks. These include fully implemented player character model. You can kind of see it right here. It's just, it's hard to really, I've got no opinions on this. Significantly denser foliage and environmental details. Okay. Overall visual improvements, despite still being roughly 2 years away from release. That's crazy. Oh yeah, here's the image right here. You can see the early protagonist character models showcasing player designs as they appear in the early development build, and you can see the Charizard right here with the Ghastly, and all of these wild Pokemon in the overworld. All the leaked images and footage appear to be running okay. As a result, the game is expected to look and perform significantly better than what is shown in these early materials, as always. Okay, here's another image of a city. So sick. The city looks big. I want to play this, and I like that you can see your full team in the overworld, similar to Legends ZA. Like that was missing from Scarlet and Violet. Like the more I don't know, the more I look at these images, I'm just like, Scarlet and Violet missed the mark. And then I did do a whole nother video about this, but like, we do have an image. We have a video of the Generation 10 gameplay, the gimmick, the battle gimmick, internally codenamed Majin. The gimmick appears to be linked to a weather-based move or effect, though its exact mechanics remain unclear based on the available footage. And in my other video, I basically went in depth kind of explaining what I think this is. I think it has something to do with, like, I don't think it's weather necessarily. I think it's the environment. I think this Pikachu is being affected by the weather and its environment, which is going to be dynamically different depending on at any point wherever you are in your gameplay, like in your adventure. Like, you could be on an island that is volcanic, but it could be raining, right? You could be in the ocean, but it's it's snowing. And I think what we're seeing with this Pikachu is maybe sunny day or a volcanic location, and then either rain or like they're out on the oceans. And that's where you get the blobby form, like the blobby effect on this Pikachu, I think is representing water or ocean travel. And then the red color is heat. So that could be sunny day, or that could be like a volcano or something. And I think we're going to see this Majin gimmick is going to be this. It will grant a Pokemon dynamic power-ups depending on where it is in the environment, which again ties in perfectly to everything that we've been talking about, or everything that we're seeing for Generation 10. Wild biomes, exploration, being in sync with your Pokemon to affect the environment, and now even the battle gimmick is linked up with this. This is so cool. I'm loving all of this. Let me know what you're most excited to see in Generation 10. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. I'm hoping to put out a pretty big video on the main channel detailing everything we could realistically see in Generation 10 soon. So this is the second channel. Subscribe. Love you. Peace. Happy New Year.